Happy Tuesday, friends. All right, my friends, we just wanted to, I don't know what I'm doing here. We just wanted to kind of review a little bit about what your drops in the bucket is going to look like. Okay, so if you have a couple options for yourself. So if you have a grown-up that wants to print these for you, or maybe your teacher printed these for you and dropped them off, you guys can do your drops in the bucket on a piece of paper. If you don't have a piece of paper, you can look at your screen. So for example, I have my screen right here on a very dirty kitchen table. And then I'm just gonna write down my answers here, right? So what I don't need to do is, if I look at this pattern here, blank, circle, triangle, diamond, circle, triangle, diamond, circle, triangle, I don't need to write all of it, right? I would just do my answers. I don't need to write all of it down. So then if I have number 3, and I do 27 plus 46, if I need to write down the problem, like I did here, to solve it, I would write it down, solve the problem, and write the answer. But here, number 4, circle 408, I'm just gonna write the number 408, okay? You do not need to write down everything on the paper if you're doing it on paper. So let's also go over, while I have a second, let's go over some of the challenges that you guys faced today. So Mrs. Miller was able to get in and do some of this with some of you guys. It looks like maybe some of the boxes were too small. But if you were doing, what is this, drops in the bucket group B, so the pattern here is 121, 122, 123, 124, 125. And so it's kind of tricky when it was blank, right? It's kind of tricky to, let me zoom in a little bit. It looks like it's, see how it's the cross one? It looks like you can only move it, but if you click twice on the little trackpad on your computer, it makes it easier to type into it, and then it brings up what this is called, this little cursor. It brings it up, and then you know you can type something into it. Don't worry, tomorrow for today's, I guess it is today's, for today's drops in the bucket, I'll put in the number sign for you so you guys can see where it needs to go. Okay, so those are your options for drops in the bucket. So for Monday, you had drops in the bucket and a piece, a brain pop that didn't work. And then you had a worksheet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch the brain pop right now. Oops, I didn't search it. This is my second time trying to record this video. Baby Bennett decided to throw a fit before. So let's try this again. All right, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. There you go. All right, here we go. You're only gonna watch half of this today.
Connect the points to draw a picture. What do you think it'll be, Moby? What are points and lines? A point is an exact position or location. This picture has different points you connect together. The symbol for a point is a dot. Points remind me of stars in the sky. We can label points with letters. To finish this picture, you connect point A to point B. Then connect point B to point C, and point C to point D, and so on. A line is made up of points that are right next to each other. A line continues in both directions with no end. The arrowheads at each end show that the line goes on forever. Lines can be horizontal and go from one side to another. They can be vertical and go up and down. They can also be diagonal. What are line segments and rays? A line segment is part of a line. Each end of a line segment has an endpoint. A line segment does not continue forever. A ray is also part of a line. One end has an endpoint, but the other end continues forever. Line segments and rays can be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal, just like lines. They can also cross each other. What are parallel and intersecting?
All right, friends. So then the next thing we're going to do is when we look at our Google Classroom, we see that we have another activity to do. So your activity for today, move some of my things. All right, so I'm going to show you what this one is on paper first, because I want to kind of highlight a couple things that are already highlighted in the Google Drive document. So a point here, the point is just, okay. Sorry friends, I got last week at school, I grabbed our document camera thing, so it'll be much more set up as soon as I can get it all set up. Okay, so a point is pictured by a dot. This is a point. It is named with a capital letter. This point is point A, right here. A line segment is a straight path between 2 points. This is a line segment BC or CB, BC, CB. It is written BC or CB. And you notice, if you could zoom in or you could look really closely, there are no arrows on the side of this. You'll notice the difference in the line. But when you have a line segment, it doesn't keep going. So it's really important to tell the difference between a line segment and a line, okay? All right, a line is a straight path that goes on forever in both directions. This is line DE or ED, and it is written DE or ED with the line with the arrows on top of it. Super important to put the lines and the arrows. Right, a ray is a straight path that goes on forever in one direction, like a sun ray. So if you think about the sun, right, the rays of sunshine start at the sun, but then go out forever, okay? This is ray FG. It is written FG. It starts here at this end point and it goes that direction forever, okay? All right, this says write if each is a point, line segment, line, or ray, and name its name. Okay, so if this here is CD, I'm gonna look back and be like, the one with the 2 dots, what is that one called? It's called a line segment. So I'm gonna write that word, line segment. And what are the 2 letters that it is named? CD. So it's line segment CD, and I write it like this, CD or DC. You only have to write one of them, but make sure you write one of them, and that you put the line on top the way that it matches, okay? What about number 2? If this has an endpoint and an arrow, what is that one called? Yeah, it's a ray. And the letters are X, Y, and it goes on forever in one direction. So that's all you need to do. Now, again, if your grown-up printed these for you and you have them in on paper, that is great. If you don't have them on paper, let me show you what your activity looks like online. Okay, so you have this. And you have the same things. I circled the words that you need to type down here in big pink so that you could see what it was. So let's do one more together. Okay, so if I have this one, QR, and it starts at an endpoint and it has a line on one side that goes on forever, that's this one. It's called a ray. So I'm gonna type here, ray, QR, and you don't have the option here to put in the line on the top, okay? So you're only going to do ray QR. If you go to this one, you're only gonna do point L. There's no dot you can put on top. When you do this line segment, same thing. You're going to put line segment, and you're going to put, what's the name of this? No, N-O. You can't put the lines on the top, okay? There's just no way to do it in Google. So you're going to go ahead and do that. You have 3 more lines and rays to do by yourself, okay? All right, so if you need to pause your video, I need you to pause and go ahead and go back and do your work, okay? Finish this up. When you're done doing your work, come back to the video and you can do it with me. So I'm going to show you how to do the next part. Okay. So this says lines, segments, and rays. A line is, and you need to choose, is it a wavy path that goes on forever in both directions with no endpoints? No, it was a straight path, right? B, a long path that has an endpoint on each end. Does it have an endpoint on each end? If you don't remember, you can go back. Does a line have it's a straight path that goes on forever in both directions, so it doesn't have an endpoint. Or C, is it a straight path that goes on forever in both directions with no endpoints? That's it. So you're going to draw your little circle over C, okay? So I know that you know what a line is. Now, here it says draw a line, okay? So I really need you to watch this. Okay, so when you are ready to draw your line, what I need you to do is you're going to go to Insert Image, okay? No, I'm not. You're not going to do Insert Image. You're going to do, what am I thinking? Hold on. What's the word, kiddos? Oh my gosh, if you were with me, you would know. Image drawing, right? Where is it? Is it not here? Let me see, maybe you search. No. Oh, goodness gracious, McGee. It's not a shape, not a table. Okay, well, we can use this. So if you're going to draw a line, you're just going to insert your image. So what did I go? Insert line, okay? And then, actually, oh, maybe we just do scribbles, okay? And so you're going to take your scribbly pen, line, scribble, and you're just going to draw your line like that, okay? And then you're going to go, a line segment is a part of a line that has an endpoint on both ends, a line that goes on forever in only one direction, or part of a line that crosses another line. We haven't talked about that, so I know that's not the answer. And does a line segment go on in one direction forever and ever? No. It's just a part that has a line that has an endpoint on both ends. Again, so I'm going to go to Insert Line. I'm going to scribble and draw a line segment. So I'm going to do my circle here, my straight line, and my circle here. Oh, what happened? Goodness gracious, friends. You might want to go into Drive. That is not straight, but we'll take it. Looks like this is a quicker way to do it. See this little scribbly line? I don't know if your toolbar will have that, but it worked for me. It may be easier, friends, since this isn't as easy as Google Docs. It may be easier for you to just tell your teacher in Zoom what you would draw if you could. All right, what is a ray? A ray is a part of the line that does not touch another line. A ray is a wavy path that goes on in two directions with no endpoints. Or a ray is a part of a line that goes on forever in only one direction. It is something that goes on in only one direction. I'm going to go draw my scribble. I'm going to draw my straight line. And then I need another scribble to draw my arrow. That goes on in only one direction. If you want to be super fancy, you'll draw your circle on the other end. Last one, a point is an exact position on a plane, a line in a plane, or a circle in a plane. It is an exact position. That's not really the definition that we used up top. But it is not a line and it is not a circle, and we know that. Okay, so you're going to draw 2 points. So you're going to draw a point there, 1, and draw a point here. Ta-da! You guys just finished your work in 15 minutes. All right. Remember, you'll go back to Google Classroom. Make sure you turned in all your work. If you have any questions, jump in and talk to Miss Now in Zoom. Other than that, my friends, you are done with math. Make sure you got your drops in the bucket done. Make sure you watched this video and got your brain pop done. And that you did both of these pages. This one first, remember? Typing in your answers and then drawing your answers here. All right, have a good day, friends.